In 1940, the Fallschirmjäger, Hitler's parachute troops, had spearheaded the German invasions of Norway, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Landing by parachute or glider, the airborne infantry and engineers had captured vital bridges, forts, and airfields behind enemy lines and held them until panzers and infantry had arrived. It was a new kind of warfare for which Germany's enemies were largely unprepared. Once Western Europe had been conquered, the problem arose for Germany in southern Europe, where Hitler's ally Benito Mussolini had attempted some empire building of his own. Mussolini had attacked and occupied Albania in 1940. But when he tried to take out neighbouring Greece in 1941, his forces were stopped cold by the Greek army, who succeeded in pushing the Italians back across the border. Fearful that the British might use Greece as a springboard to invade Europe, and conscious that Prime Minister Winston Churchill was sending British, New Zealand and Australian troops to aid Greece, he determined to secure his southern flank before commencing his invasion of the Soviet Union. Romania, Hungary and Bulgaria had already joined the Axis as Nazi allies. German forces quickly crushed Yugoslavia and then crashed across the border into Greece. Operation Morita, the German invasion, commenced on the 6th of April 1941, the Germans invading from Bulgaria and Yugoslavia, outflanking the Greek defences arrayed to prevent an Italian incursion from Albania. The Germans quickly overwhelmed the main Greek defence line and swept south towards Athens. British, Australian and New Zealand forces retreated with the Greeks. Hitler intended to trap as many Allied units as possible that were fleeing south to be evacuated by ships of the Royal Navy. The place to do that appeared to be at the 4-mile-long Corinth Canal, a narrow but deep shipping route that connects the Ionian and Aegean seas. The canal separates the Peloponnese from the Greek mainland. In particular, if the Corinth Canal Bridge could be captured and held, the Allied evacuation south to Crete and Egypt would be severely disrupted. The German 12th Army was advancing rapidly south, and capturing the canal bridge would block the Allied retreat and would allow the 12th Army to encircle and capture tens of thousands of enemy soldiers. It would be a risky and daring undertaking for the Germans, and the only way to get behind the Allies and snatch the Corinth Canal Bridge was by using airborne forces. The Allies knew of the bridge's significance to their own plans, and it was defended by British, Australian and New Zealand troops and artillery. The bridge had also been prepared for demolition in the event of its imminent capture by German ground or airborne forces. The bridge was of absolutely vital importance to the Allies in Greece, providing the only route for units falling back to the Peloponnesian ports of Namphia, Monemvasia and Kalamata, and eventual evacuation by the Royal Navy to Crete or Egypt. The British had concentrated 3.7-inch, 3-inch and 40mm Bofors anti-aircraft guns in the area. Some of the Bofors were beside the canal, and others were dug in south of it along the road to the town of Argos. The badly depleted British 4th Hussars protected the south bank of the canal. Though a tank unit, it only had 4 operational tanks remaining. Other units in the area included Australian infantry and New Zealanders. The unit selected for Operation Hannibal, as the German assault on the Corinth Canal Bridge was called, was Colonel Alfred Sturm's 2nd Parachute Regiment, numbering over 2,000 men. The best way to capture a bridge is by attacking both ends at once, and this was what the Germans intended to do. Firstly, German paratroopers would land close to both ends of the bridge in DFS 230 gliders to snatch the bridge and prevent its destruction. This force would consist of an engineer platoon and a platoon of the 6th Battalion, Fallschirmjäger Regiment 2. The bulk of Fallschirmjäger Regiment 2, under the command of Colonel Sturm, would drop by parachute either side of the canal, the 1st Battalion to the north and the 2nd Battalion to the south, to deal with the defending British and Commonwealth units. The assault commenced on the morning of the 26th of April 1941, when 6 gliders were towed aloft, followed by the Junkers Ju-52s carrying 2 battalions of paratroopers. German Junkers 87 Stuka dive bombers commenced bombing and strafing the Allied positions around the canal, knocking out some of the anti-aircraft guns, but not all of them. At 07:25 hours, the first gliders appeared over the target and cast off. The surviving anti-aircraft guns opened up. 1 glider was badly damaged and crash-landed, but the remaining 5 landed close to the northern and southern ends of the bridge, 54 parachute engineers scrambling out to storm the bridge. Now it was the turn of the paratroopers to jump.
Get ready. Ready to jump.
Colonel Sturm and his paras had to push Allied forces away from the bridge, where a vicious fight was ongoing. The Fallschirmjäger battalions captured the towns of Argos and Namfia, routing the British, New Zealand and Australian defenders. In the meantime, the paratroopers landed by glider stormed the British anti-aircraft guns south of the bridge, and more engineers at the northern end moved onto the bridge and began to remove demolition charges from the structure, mistakenly piling them up on the bridge's roadway instead of hurling them into the Corinth Canal far below. 1 British anti-aircraft position managed to fire onto the bridge with its 40mm Bofors, hitting the pile of explosive charges. There was a blinding flash and a huge explosion as several charges detonated together, killing the Germans on the bridge and collapsing the structure into the canal below. Once the bridge area was secure and the defenders defeated, Fallschirmjäger units used captured British vehicles and entered the town of Corinth, taking it soon afterwards. The attack was deemed a partial success. Of course, the bridge had been destroyed. The Germans lost 79 killed and missing and 158 wounded, but managed to capture over 1,400 Allied troops during the fighting at Corinth, Argos and Namfia. On the 28th of April, forward elements of the German 5th Panzer Division linked up with the Fallschirmjäger. By this time, the 2nd Fallschirmjäger Regiment had taken a further 10,500 prisoners, as retreating Allied forces found themselves trapped at Corinth against the canal. The Fallschirmjäger had proved once again what they were capable of. The next airborne operation that would involve them would be Germany's biggest and bloodiest of World War II, the attack on Crete, the last remaining Allied foothold in Greece. Thanks for watching, please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon, details in the description box below.